Hello, it's been some time since the last video, which got a lot of views for some reason. I procrastinated for 2 months, 3 months, and basically done nothing. But I have some energy today, and I think I'll record some things. It may not be the whole thing, I may not upload the entirety of what I record. It may be split into 2 or 3 parts, but we'll see. I think I said I made 3 or 4 words, but after some gathering and research, I found out that actually I made 5 words, which I'll be covering in chronological order, mostly. I made this piece to represent each of my words artistically, but it's not in any order. So I'll try to talk about each part of this for at least 5 minutes each and try to guess what inspired me. The first one is the bottom right, which hasn't been named when I made it, but since then I named it Hardhat. It is centered around a city and its infrastructure, or the people who repair its infrastructure. The main story of this place centered around a repairman whose job was to repair the columns that supported the city and allowed it to stay above the clouds stably. Since humanity made a big disaster, everything below the clouds is practically unlivable. They built a big web of cities on top of mountains, supported by gigantic columns of a special kind of concrete that is capable of supporting much more weight than regular materials. I made a render in Blender of a staircase that leads down one of these pillars, and there can be seen multiple pillars, but other than that it's completely dark under the cities. No sunlight reaches down there because of the construction above and the density of the pillars. So the story I mentioned, I kind of thought up for this, is one of the workers needs to go down to ground level to the bottom of the pillars to scout out an elevator failure which disabled an elevator and damaged multiple pillars around it. While he's down there examining the wreckage, he sees something, and on the way back he gets really paranoid, and the story ends when he reaches the top of the stairs but couldn't open the security gate that separates the stairs from the city above, and he kills himself believing that something is stalking him and he is going to die anyway. In reality, nothing was chasing him, and if he would have waited a little longer, one of his colleagues would have opened up the door and he would have been fine. I don't really know what inspired me to make up this word, but I remember when I first started making this, I drew a few maps of the cities connected, and how people live in them. The society of this imaginary world is really classist. They don't even allow poor people in the main cities, so they have to live in the supporting columns of the bridges connecting the cities. Construction workers were usually recruited from this class of people because of the disregard for the value of human life. These are the things I could find out with the notes and drawings I have. I could continue this, but I haven't touched it since I made it more than 5 or 6 years ago. The next one is the top right, because it contains every Dungeons and Dragons and other role-playing words I created for me and my friends, because I was the dungeon master for most of the games. So the current word is that which you can see on the picture, but I'll talk about the other words that have been there too. Since this piece contains multiple words, it doesn't have a name. If I can find the maps of this place, I'll definitely put them on screen. But the first of these words were hosted by me, I think in 2019, and it lasted for 4 sessions. That means about half a year or less. There was 4 players, 4 of my friends. If I recall correctly, a Dragonborn Paladin, some kind of ranger, a half-elf sorcerer, and a cleric, maybe. In my opinion, the reason this campaign fell apart quickly because I didn't really prepare when I told. I improvised a lot of things and not everything made sense. The second campaign was, or does have a name. It was the Kingdom of Rune, very original, I know, and we had 1 session. It could be restarted or started because it is still not ruined. It could easily be a good setting, but since that 1 session, we haven't played it. I think I still have the battle maps for this campaign. One of a cellar, a wine cellar, 2 of a tavern, 1 for each level of the tavern, 1 for sewers of a city, and several for a dungeon. I have no idea what the player races and classes were, but they were most likely human, if I remember the setting correctly. And I think you can guess the classes with these tokens. The third and newest map is the current setting of a campaign I'll be running for 3 people at the end of this month. So I'll talk about it very vaguely if they ever see this video, and I won't be showing detailed maps. It is called Elavul, but it is not only a D&D word, it is also my main word for now for creative writing and other things. I've sang significantly more time into this than the other runs combined, so it is much more detailed. Other than the maps, because I didn't have much time to flesh out anything other than the battle maps I won't be showing today. It is a high magic world where magic is very expensive, and so poorer people usually can't use any. Also, it is on the brink of a new discovery in the form of a new continent, which a lot of kingdoms are scrambling to conquer. Since it is not original D&D world, it is completely homebrew. It has a custom weather and water cycle. One of the ends of the plane that is the world is much hotter than the other end, so water boils away at that end of the world and becomes clouds, which get pushed to the other end of the world by the hot air that gets created, and when rain falls there, it flows into the ocean, which flows back down and boils away again and again. So most of the waters of this world are fresh water, or at least not salt water. Also, there is new kinds of magic, or at least new uses for standard D&D magic that I won't be talking about, at least for now. I may release a video if there is demand talking about the new magic system at the end of the month, after the campaign has already started. I think that's it for now. The video should be about 10 minutes long, but if it's longer, then I am happy. I hope it gets as much views as the last one, but if it doesn't, then it doesn't matter, because I'm making this for mostly myself. Also, I think I should mention that I realized that the more I talk in English, the more fluid my speech becomes, the less spaces and is between each of my words. So if the beginning of my videos seems longer, or some words seem strangely cut, that's because I shorten most of my sentences in editing. That's all for now. So I hope you enjoy this. And bye for now.